Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's show we're going to be building and reviewing a set that I acquired from Mould King. It's a licensed set by a designer named Ohsojang. You may have seen a lot of his designs on Rebrickable. Stick around, this one's a really beautiful set. I'm Mighty Joe and you're watching Once again, everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Brick by Brick with Mighty Joe. As I mentioned, today we are going to be looking at an officially licensed Ohsojang creation that Mould King is selling. Ohsojang is a designer that has all kinds of different designs based on real-life buildings. He has bars, coffee shops, all kinds of different designs available on Bricklink, and he shares them often on social media. Inside this box is one that I saw one of my creator friends review, and I fell in love with it, especially the little details. Let's take a look at what's inside the box. Today we're going to be building and reviewing the Ohsojang-Islet Bar. The Ohsojang-Islet Bar from Mould King is set number 16042, consists of 3,992 pieces, and is rated for ages 14 and up. You can see on the box we do have this beautiful depiction of the built set in a city background. So many cool features on this one, you guys, especially this part of the building here that's made completely of, it looks like 1x pieces. That is going to be an interesting build right there. It is a modular set. As you see here, it does come apart for playability. It is a licensed set created by Ohsojang, and it's got his signature right here. And on the back of the box, you can see that we do have several close-up pictures of some of the details inside the set. I got this set quite a while ago, and it's been sitting in my backlog, and I finally spun the opportunity to build this one. And when I saw the initial review on YouTube, I thought, man, I'm so spoiled by Lumibricks. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a light kit for this set? And then I ordered it and reread the order. And ladies and gentlemen, it comes with a light kit. So we're going to see how this all plays out. And hope you stick around to the very end, because I know the results are going to be amazing. Let's open it up, get the pour on, and see what comes inside. This box is packed full, everybody. You see right there? All right, this is a huge pile of pieces. We do have our instructional manual. Let's get that opened up. All right, so here is our instructional manual. Really nice thickness on it. The instructions seem to be pretty clear. There are a lot of steps on each page, but I guess that also helps keep the cost down. It does seem pretty concise and clear. There are little red lines showing you where to put the pieces that you're adding. So this is going to be really cool. It does come with this gray base plate. I'm going to Mills plate this, since this is not a double-sided plate. This plate will be the bottom of the Mills plate. And then we've got all of these bags. So many bags. I'm going to get them spread out so we can take a look at them. All right, so taking a look at all of our pieces, you can see that we do have 10 steps of bags, consisting of 22 bags, plus any smaller bags that are packed in those larger bags. We've got our instruction manual and our base plate. And then right over here, We've got our lighting kit. So this is going to be really fun to build. It's a beautiful set. The design of the building is just stunning. All right, friends, these are the pieces. Let's get this thing assembled and get you a good look at the Mould King-Islet bar by Ohsojang. Are you ready? Let's go! Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the speed build, but I wanted to point something out. I'm not going to be reviewing every step, but building this first step, something that I'm not liking too much is there are a lot of pieces, it's kind of hard to see, that are sitting, floating in air. In other words, right here is an example. The tile is sitting only on 2 studs, and then this tile sits on 2 studs and is hanging in midair, and then that's hanging in midair and it's on a stud, that's on a stud, midair, you know. So I hope I don't have to press down on a lot of this stuff, because as you can see, if you press down the wrong way, it collapses. But I trust the designer, and I'm going to keep building and see what happens. All right, we now return you to your regularly scheduled speed build. Okay friends, that's the build. Now let's take a deeper look at the Ohsojang designed eyelet bar for Mould King. Well friends, what can I say? This was a pleasure to put together. All of the 1-bys that created all of this brickwork, so awesome. Now, I did have to go back several times and redo several steps because, as you can see, it's quite difficult. And if you even waver your attention for just a second, you lose your place. And that happened about 3 times in this build. I was so excited to tell you guys that it came with a light kit when we opened it up. Unfortunately, the instructions to wiring the lights in were in Chinese or Japanese. I don't know languages. And when I looked them up, after already getting to step 4, I realized that I should have been wiring them in a long time ago. But the only problem is this is modular and does come apart. However, if you wire in the lights, you kind of wire all the floors together and it makes it more difficult to take them apart. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get a aftermarket lighting kit, the kind that you just hang inside with the USB out the back. That way I can light it that way. And you really do need to, because the details in this thing are amazing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front here. We do have this little patio area with some seating. We do have a sliding glass door. We've got our main entryway, and these 2 little lights right here would have been cool if we had been able to use the lighting kit, because those would have been lit up. But like I said, that's some crazy stuff. And over here, we do have an awning that does come down for when the sun gets too much. And all you do is turn this crank here to deploy it and reel it in. Up on the 2nd floor, we've got this cool window here that does open up and let us look into the bar. And we'll get a good look at all of that stuff in a bit. We do have on the side here some shades, which are really cool right here behind where it says eyelet. This right here is a lever, and you can close that, and it's got some columns with some little transparent yellow 1-bys in there. The back of the building is pretty plain, although it is adorned with this decoration right here, which is pretty cool. We do have some more brickwork back here. We've got a patio back here that's really cool, and it's got some deco lighting in it, and a chair, or 2 chairs and a table. And then you can see into the restaurant bar, and you can see that there are 2 chairs there with a table and the bar in the background. I was a little confused with these pieces here. These are hinge pieces, but I don't know why they were used, because there's no need for them. That part of the building does not hinge out at all. So yeah, a little confused. But yeah, really cool. Up on the top, we've got the IL design, which I'm not too sure why there's an IL. You can always recreate a different letter or something that you want to put up there and make it look different. On the side, you do have the brick built letters to spell out eyelet, and then there are the wings. They look really cool. These windows just look into the back of the kitchen. Same on this side over here. Really nothing to see in there, more for decoration. And the kitchen actually does come out. It's only held together with this piece, but I don't think it's really supposed to be coming out, although I guess you could remove it because it's pretty easy to position minifigures in there and whatnot. But let's go ahead and go in floor by floor and take a look at it. So looking down towards the outdoor patio, we do have this little section here which actually does come off, and it's a shame that that's covering, because it covers some pretty cool cobble work we had to do here at the beginning of the build. But this little patio area does have 2 seats, and there seems to be some kind of drink or something on the table, and it does just kind of pop in on the corner here. We do have sliding doors here. That can open that way and those two can open that way. So that's pretty cool. And as I said, we do have the awning that comes down. And with the awning down, we can get a good look inside the restaurant. So right here we can see the kitchen. We do have 3 stools. And then we've got a really detailed kitchen area where we've got a cooktop and stove over in the corner. Kind of hard to see, but it's back there. We've got a vent hood, which is really neat. And then we've got this track lighting up here. Over in the corner, you can see that we do have a booth type situation with a light above it. Got an indoor plant. We've got a clock on the wall. And then we've got our check-in area over here where you can make your reservations. There's a computer, the phone. There's a little chihuahua and a doghouse, which I think is really unusual to have in a restaurant, but I don't know. He's underneath the stairs. And speaking of the stairs had this really quirky, elaborate railing system that was supposed to go in. And the design was just, I mean, the building is awesome. The design for those railings was ridiculous. So I just opted to leave it out and just replaced it with those 2 pieces there, those 2 lightsaber pieces with a cheese slope on it, just to kind of give it the feeling of the beginning of a rail. Over there in the back, we have a hanging light fixture with a glass top table and 2 different chairs. So really cool. I do like the little microwave oven or broiler with the coffee pot on top. I've never seen that designed for a coffee pot, and I really do like that. But yeah, luckily those tiles that were hanging in midair didn't really need to be pressed down in any weird ways, so I didn't have any collapse on me, which was really good. All right, moving that off to the side, we'll take a look at our second floor. The second floor is really nice, and it does consist of the bar. So right here you can see a well-stocked bar, and we do have stickers that say Mould King on them. There's a lot of stickers. There's a TV that says Mould King. A lot of self-promotion on this one. Another sticker over here by the door. And you guessed it, it says Mould King. All right, and then we have another sideways sign that says Islet, which is really cool. We've got this tree or bush, indoor plant, and then we've got some seating all around the bar, which is really neat. I love the detail in this. We do have a menu, several menus sitting on the bar as well. We've got a dartboard in the middle, which I hope is just for decoration, because you got a bartender going back and forth, and you might think you're at the fair trying to hit him. And then of course we do have this garage door that goes up and down. You can leave it like that, or for ease you can leave it half open so you can push it, or you can just push it closed like that. And then for it to open, you gotta kind of pull on it a little bit and it goes right up. Really awesome design. And then of course on this side it is the brick belt eyelet. And then we have these sliding shades here. Pretty cool idea. But yeah. And then that just sits right on top of the first floor. You've only got to line up your pegs and then press down gently. Our roof area, we do have the corner of the building built up. We've got a pretty plain roof. I think it could have had a little bit more like air conditioning vents or something, but that's an easy fix for anybody with imagination. And then the top does come off of this, although I gotta admit I'm not too sure why it does, because when you take the top off, you do see that for some reason we had to build these little walls here, but there's no reason. Like, that could have just been hollow. So I don't know, there's got to be a purpose to it, a reason why Ohsojang put that there, but I don't know. If anybody knows him, maybe they can ask him. That just pops on like that. Pretty simple. And then it sits down on top of the building. And as I said before, just line up your pegs and pop it down. Really, really amazing design and great looking set. Alright friends, that's going to do it for this build and review of the Mould King Novatown Islet Bar designed by Ohsojang. If you enjoyed this build and review, please do me a favor and like this video, share it with your friends, comment down below, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps out a lot. If you'd like to purchase one of these sets for your own to build and enjoy, I will put an affiliate link down in the description below where you can pick one up, along with all my other affiliate links that I am affiliated with, from Pantasy to Lumibricks, Amazon. All my links will be there for you to peruse and look for great deals and discounts. If you'd like to directly help the channel out, you can go to my Buy Me a Coffee page, where you can go ahead and donate any amount you would like. I have had a couple of donations so far, and I really do appreciate it, you guys. You don't know how much that means to me. All benefits going to this fund are going to go to buy more sets and improvements in the studio and recording equipment and whatnot. It'll take a while to get that much to do anything with, but I appreciate anything. Any little bit helps. Till next time, guys, please take care of yourselves. And remember, when life starts getting you down, just take it brick by brick. See ya.